Welcome back everybody to your latest GTA Fancast. It's the one that you've all been waiting for, the tactical review of the Content Creators Cup 2021 between Wolves Fancast and Wolves Fan Pack. Made up of the likes of Talking Wolves, 77 Club and Dazzling Dave. The Wolves Fancast went on to win 8-3 in the end. A quick reminder of the squads here with the support of the Kings Wilford Sports Shop amongst others. And I know what you're all waiting for, guys. It's the collective heat map, and let me tell you, anybody who played in the Billy Wright shade had a great time, a much better time than anybody who was out in the sun anyway, because it was bloody well hot. No place to start other than the first goal. Fan Pack taking the lead. You can see here Sam Gibbons picking up the ball on the right-hand side. He cuts in. I'll just hold it here as he plays that pass, and you can see Wolves Fancast defensive line all over the place, really. Josh and myself, as I come into picture, caught a bit square, but also playing a bit too high, given there was no pressure on the ball in the middle of the park. And Matt, caught in two minds, obviously has gone with the man and tracked Ewan, who has made a good run. He was playing off the left in a 4-3-3, I believe, and posed a threat to goal pretty much throughout the game. And maybe there's a slight question mark that Russ could be a bit higher off his line. Could he come and cleaned out everything and, use that goalkeeper's protection that they all seem to have with the referees? But it was a good take. It was a nice finish. And, all round, not the best defending from the Fancast side. That was how to break an offside trap. This was how not to. So enjoy this little montage of Wolf Fancast forwards running offside, which was a running theme of the first half, I have to say. A very high line played by the Fan Pack side, who clearly had plenty of pace to recover if they were caught out. But it was something that I think came to bite them on the backside a little bit in the second half, in particular once Wolves Fancast decided to book their ideas up in that front. You can see here Luke Thompson, clearly adamant on finishing, and honestly, mate, it doesn't matter how far you're offside, it's just that you are, unless your referee did something else, which case I say congratulations. So it's quite a topsy-turvy affair, I have to say, and some decent build-up through the thirds by the Fancast side led to the equaliser, and you can see here Sam Cook of the 77 Club cleaning out Ryan Hooper, but ultimately it's quite easy to get at the Fan Pack defensive line, not too much protection from the midfield, and as you can see, players flooding the box, and not too many reacting. The best defenders in the world, they say, they're always playing worst case scenario, and it just seemed that the Wolves Fan Pack defence at times were just hoping that the finish wouldn't come, and we took a few chances to make sure it did, but eventually Nick Jones equalised for the Fancast. Now, you'd hope that would have settled the Fancast down a little bit, but, it's important to point out all this build-up play and my inability to resist a 50-50 led to me being out of position as Fan Pack went up the other end and won the penalty. If I just hold it as they build up the play, ball goes into Jason Guy, who flicks it around the corner here, and you can see the Wolves Fancast defence all drags towards the centre of the pitch, and a nice little channel opens up down the left-hand side for Manny Singh to go and take advantage of. He runs into the box, and we're all at 6s and 7s now, and Matt just has to make a last-ditch attempt to win the ball, which unfortunately leads to a penalty being conceded, and Jason Guy putting it away cleanly. So yeah, clearly the Fancast defence was all over the shop at that place, and I'll hold my hands up on that one. Not for the first time in this game will I be holding my hands up either. It was a very topsy-turvy game though, and as you can see here, before you know it, Wolves Fancast are in again. The entire Fan Pack team in their half, leaving one man to do the defensive work again, and before you know it, Nick Jones makes a run from deep, and he's in one-on-one with Dave Parody, and really the two defenders there, well, the goalkeeper and the defender, hadn't got a prayer of really trying to stop that, unfortunately. But you defend as a team and you attack as a team, and being countered against, you have to try and prevent that as often as possible. But that one ball seemed to beat everybody, and before you know it, the back line was totally exposed. Fancast started to turn the screw a little bit here, and not too much to say tactically about this one really, but a great effort from Jordan from distance, which, you know, again, as I point out, the best defenders in the world, they're always worst case scenario planning, and nobody reacted to the ball coming off the post and landing at the feet of Greg, who tucked it away with a little bit of fortune again, but ultimately the ball ended up in the back of the net. Fancast management did feel a little bit uncomfortable about the way we set up in the first half. We did have a bit of a midfield diamond going on, and as you can see from a couple of stills I'm going to show you now, you could literally throw a blanket over the midfield, the two midfields of each team, and, you know, our forwards as well. The high line, again, whether it was by design or just something that ended up happening of the fan pack, you know, kind of squeezed our forwards in towards the midfield, and we're all kind of on each other's toes, which, you know, it created a lot of congestion in the middle of the park. And as a result, you know, there was midfield runners coming through, and you know, the back four were a little bit overrun at times. A lot of work for the full backs to, you know, to try and maintain width in possession, etc. as well. So decided to go to a back three in the second half, which, you know, allowed us to play with the front three as well, create a little bit of width at the top end of the pitch this time rather, and, you know, actually utilise the size of pitch that Molineux is. Everybody commented on how, you know, it is a huge pitch and it's hard work to get about on it, but didn't actually use it to the best of its capability when in possession of the ball. And if there's one thing that I could take for all of us to kind of take into any game that we play in future, it's that, you know, you should always try your best to make the pitch as big as possible in possession. So I kind of felt sorry for Dave actually in this game, because I thought he had a pretty decent show of it, and this is kind of his moment in the limelight and my moment, you know, of embarrassment all in one. But he plays the ball forward out of his hands, big ball, nothing too much on, free header, totally missed by myself. Now even then,
who the fuck is that guy?
You know, Sam Gibbons, he has a lot to do from here, and defence does recover, but, you know, it's good feet. He takes it onto his left. You know, he can play off both feet clearly, and he did well to finish. So, you know, while there was an embarrassing mistake in there, I think Sam can definitely take credit for his performance with an assist and a goal ultimately for. Now, this was an interesting goal. You can see here, ball's out of play. Everyone's kind of in a bit of a lull, and very kindly, I think it's Bayliss from the 77 club decides to collect the ball and hand the ball to me on the Fancast side. Now, most people, and whether it was a case of inexperience playing a part here, know that, you know, there's no real need to hand the ball back to the opposition until you're back in your own position. And you'll also spot Luke Thompson in behind the defence. He's taking quite an ambitious assumption of my length there, I'll be honest, but managed to make it work. And obviously not being able to be offside off a throw, we managed to work it to our advantage. What I will say is Bayliss has a little bit been exposed by his teammates who haven't spotted Luke and gone over to cover for him, and before you know it, you know, he's running through on goal, showing a nice turn of pace, and slotted it away eventually. A little bit of a wobble to settle himself, but, you know, quick thinking there from the Fancast boys, and taking advantage of a little bit of a lapse from the fan pack. You know, and as Luke goes to celebrate, he joins Gully right in front of Bayliss, who is clearly remonstrating with him, and with the high five in front of him as well. Oh, you got to be fuming with that, mate. At this point, it has to be said, it was one-way traffic, and as I pointed out in the first half, we struggled with trying to keep our players on side, but the high defensive fan pack line, which I don't know whether it was some kind of innovation that they planned through at the start of the game, was exposed on this occasion. A really nice ball forward, and I think it's Nick who makes that run. He's in one-on-one, squares the ball to Yanni, who puts it away eventually again, and it just became you know, a bit of a Fancast attacking party from here on in. So the score at 5-3 at this point, and you know, another pretty straightforward goal ends up being scored by the Fancast. We've got possession in midfield, Manny running backwards, tries to turn into trouble, and frankly, you know, it was a bit of a costly decision to make. I don't think the Fancast necessarily played the slickest of football to get themselves into a shooting position here, but it's a nice finish from Jordan, who frankly should have been, I think, 1-up already at that point, given that he'd already hit the post and missed a bit of a sitter before that as well. No points for the celebration there. And it wasn't long, pretty much straight off the kickoff, given away by the fan pack again, just played forward relatively aimlessly. And, you know, we work our way forward. It's played into the striker, Dan, who lays it off nicely. And another driving forward run from Nick Jones. It was, you know, Lampard-esque with the way that he kept breaking forward. The timing of the run is everything. And that was there to complete his hat-trick. And the final goal has to be said, another bit of a comedy of errors from the fan pack defence. Played short, you know, given that, you know, you can obviously receive the ball in the penalty area these days. The defence should have set themselves up a little bit better for that. But good turn of pace and anticipation from Luke Thompson leads to him being in on goal by intercepting that pass. He does the old dirty FIFA goal and squares it to Jordan, who has the simplest of tasks in finishing. Now, it was a bit of a romp in the end at that point, but 8-3 to the Fancast, you know, pride of all social media, as we like to say now. But, you know, a fantastic event regardless, and all the proceeds going to a really great cause. I hope I haven't upset anyone too much with this video, by the way, but it's only a little bit of fun, and hopefully we can do this again sometime and battle to reclaim, you know, the title of Content Creators Cup. That's all from me, guys. The donation link is in the bio, and you know, please enjoy the highlights whenever you get chance. And like I say, we can hopefully build this target up even more of money raised for Mind. So until next season, thank you very much for listening, and see you soon.